What's good everyone, acedias is here. Today I prepared something a little different. As you saw in the preview, I've made a unit concept for Sukuna from JJK with custom visual effects and animations. The animations were made by one of my good friends Greg. He's really talented, and if you're a dev looking for an animator, I'll put his Discord tag on screen. He usually does commissions or takes percentage cuts. Anyways, back to the showcase. Sukuna would be a mythic unit. I thought of making him a secret, but it would be a bit too inaccessible to some players. And since Sukuna is a very popular character in anime and manga, I thought it would be fair to make him a mythic so many people could get him. His evolution name could be something like King of Curses, and his shiny could be his Heinera form, or if you read the manga, you know. On placement, Sukuna has a regular 3-hit cleave attack. The AoE for it would be a smaller circle, similar to Tengen, Igris, and others. A lot of his other attacks are also based on cleave and dismantle. After all, it is his main curse technique, and most of the attacks in the manga and anime are based on cleave and dismantle. On placement, Sukuna has 2 different passives. The first one gives him a damage buff depending on the amount of enemy units within his range, and the second passive is a reference to him healing Megumi in the Shibuya arc, where he lowers their stun time by 50%, and he's going to be the second unit in the game who can remove the snared status besides Sakura. On the second upgrade, he receives a new move called Dismantle Barrage. The move should hit around like 7 to 6 times, and it's a line AoE, so it'll be really good for breaking shields. A lot of games with Sukuna also implement like that one spin attack that he does, and the VFX I made for it is based just on that. Also, while you enjoy the slow-mo, I'm only at 1.2k subscribers, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. And if you have other ideas for concept units in Anime Vanguards, you can leave them down below in the comments, or you can join my Discord server. I have an entire channel dedicated just to this. And if this video is well received, I'll probably make another concept video with custom visual effects and animations again, but based on one of your guys' concepts. On his 5th upgrade, Sukuna obtains a new move, which is based on the pump fake that he used against Maharaga. The move itself has a cone AoE, similar to the AoE Chayan has in one of her earlier upgrades. And although the move does do more damage, it only hits a singular time compared to the other 2 upgrades, which multi-hit. On upgrade 5, he receives a new passive called the Strongest Sorcerer in History, which decreases his SPA by 15%, but only if a boss is inside his range. And of course this doesn't stack because bosses like Ginyu would just overbuff him, which would be too overpowered. Because Ginyu is just a boss as once and even more bosses, which would be way too OP. On upgrade 9, Sukuna gets his Fuga ability. His range and damage gets a massive buff, but his SPA increases by a massive amount. The AoE would be similar to Rengoku, where it's a large circle and a large range. He also gets a new passive called I haven't used this since the Heinera, where Sukuna deals additional 20% burn damage when hitting an enemy, which will result in overall more damage and more hits, which should make up for the increased SPA. And on his last upgrade, Sukuna unlocks his main ability together with 2 additional passives. Of course, his main ability is his domain expansion, Malevolent Shrine, and works in tandem with his passive I'll show you True Jujutsu, which upon activation transforms his AoE type into a full AoE. However, his damage is decreased by 50%, but in return, his SPA is also halved, meaning he will do the same amount of DPS, and his burn damage is also replaced with bleed damage. Now, his second passive is called It's like not using a canvas, but rather painting directly in the sky, which is a reference to the narration in JJK after Sukuna pops his domain in Shibuya. This passive always sets his range stat to 65 once he uses his domain, and additionally, all units in his domain's range get a 10% range buff. And regarding the domain, it would have a 2-minute cooldown, and once it's enabled, it'll last for 25 seconds, and it also has a global cooldown, just like Alucard and Sun Jinwoo. Now, this video took way too long to make, and I would appreciate a like and a subscribe from you. And if you're curious about the process of me making the visual effects, let me know in the comments down below. If I'll make another video, I'll add the process of me making the visual effects and how I go on about it, so it would be kind of like a tutorial. But this is it for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!